Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, if you're wondering why there's no Bronco gear on, well, first and foremost, it's because it's a must-win game tonight. Game 6, Avalanche at the Kraken. And if the Avalanche lose, it's over. It's done. So I have the back on this side. So I have the lights. So the Avalanche blue. I got the jersey. I got the hat. I'm trying to do anything I possibly can to will a win tonight in Seattle and go back to Colorado. Okay, now let's get on some other news. I do have an update on Val Nichushkin. I will get to that at the end of the show. I'm going to bring some other stuff in first. Avatar says, what's up, Broncos country? Avatar, always great to have you in the chat. Always great to have you in the house. Thank you so much for always being supportive. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right. Not Sean Paton, but George Paton was slammed by NFL.com. Here it is. Greg Rosenthal has blasted George Paton for the trade of Wilson and the $245 million contract extension, which has cast Paton's reputation in a gloomer light. Now, wait a minute. Come on, Rosenthal. Seriously? Wait a minute. You're saying that George Paton made a mistake by trading, basically mortgaging the farm to get Russell Wilson. Hello, excuse me. Russell Wilson was a quarterback on the Broncos team with a pathetic head coach. You got to start there first, Greg. You cannot put all the blame on Russell Wilson. What's Russell Wilson supposed to do? I mean, he's given the game plan, and obviously that stuck up the joint. So how can you blast Sean Paton? And at the end of this, what I'm going to read, he kind of backtracks a bit, which makes me very skeptical of him. And anyways, but you can't put all the blame on Russell Wilson. You can't. Absolutely cannot. I continue. Rosenthal has placed Paton as the 25th worst GM in the NFL. Now, he said the other, the other 7 are less than a year, I guess, in GM or been replaced, something. I don't know. But he said that George Paton's the worst GM in the NFL. I beg to differ. Absolutely beg to differ. You're wrong because you're putting all of the blame on Russell Wilson. And you're putting all the blame on saying, well, he traded for Russell Wilson. He's damaged goods. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. I continue. Along with the Wilson trade, Rosenthal includes the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett as catastrophic. I would agree with that. Absolutely 100% agree with that. But then again, why are you putting the blame? You're saying that, about, Russell Wilson and his contract. But if you're talking about George Paton and the way he handled the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett, yeah, that was absolutely pathetic. That was catastrophic. But then you've got to turn around and say, okay, well, he made amends to it by signing Sean Paton. So why don't you give a little ounce of credit, or maybe a pound of credit, for the hiring of Sean Paton? Okay, I continue. Rosenthal noted that if the hiring of Sean Paton works out, his opinion will change. Well, no freaking kidding. Well, that was a stupid remark to begin with. You're blasting George Paton for hiring Russell Wilson and the $245 million contract, and then hiring Hackett. You got it backwards, Rosenthal. You got it backwards. The hiring of Nathaniel Hackett was the worst move by George Paton. Absolutely the worst move by George Paton. But he's making amends for it. So why don't we see what Sean Paton can do with Russell Wilson and then compare it to what the season was last year? Okay? Don't you think that's fair, guys? I say it's fair. You cannot blast a guy when he makes amends by hiring Sean Paton, and we haven't seen one thing on the field yet because it's not football season. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Avatar says Rosenthal is a negative Nancy. Yeah, you're right. He is very, very negative. But I mean, for him to come out and say that to me was just absolutely preposterous. I mean, you just don't do that. I mean, it's like kicking a guy, when he's down. I mean, okay, made a mistake. All right. We all got caught up in the Nathaniel Hackett emotion. We all did. We all drank from that freaking Kool-Aid until we learned that it was arsenic. I mean, and the season was done, But Duncan Cruz says, I blame Gorgiev. You know what? I blame Gorgiev for a lot of things, but we'll get into that later on tonight. But anyways, I move on. Okay. I want to say a shout out to Sav Locos, Hood Tails. Laugh out loud if they don't win, Nuggets will. Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, think about it. The Nuggets haven't been anywhere near a championship or sniffing a championship opportunity forever. And yet they could be the team to bring home the trophy in Colorado and not the Avalanche. That could happen. Could happen. That would be good for the Nuggets. Absolutely. 100%. All right. I move on. Title of the show was Jackson is back again. Not so fast. With new head coach Sean Paton on board, could the Broncos re-sign Kareem Jackson? My question is, why not? Why not re-sign him? I mean, he knows the system. I mean, or okay, not the system, because obviously we got a new head coach, but he knows the team. He knows the players. He's familiar with things. Okay. Why not bring him back? It's not a huge liability if they bring him back. Absolutely not a huge liability. And he can fill in, heaven forbid, major injury. Let's not go there. But I mean, he can fill in on certain packages. Why not bring him back? This is what Jackson said, and I quote, I definitely love a chance to win a ring. Well, that's good. I'm glad he's going after the ring and not money, because, I mean, money, you spend money, the ring, that lasts forever. Anyways, I go back again, and I quote, I definitely love a chance to win a ring. I've played in the playoffs a couple of times, but the last 4 years missing the playoffs is tough. I would love to be on a team that's a contender, and with Sean Payton, that's very real. End quote. There you go. He wants to be on the Denver Broncos. Absolutely wants to be on the Broncos. Why not bring him back? Would that be too hard to ask? Does anybody out there want to chime in on the chat and say, hey, I don't think it's a good idea? Well, if it's not a good idea, then why? I mean, what would be the reason? I mean, okay, if you're talking about, he hasn't really been super stellar on the field. Well, look who the Broncos coaching staff was last year. This is going to be a much, much different, more aggressive team, more in-your-face team. That's what Sean Payton does. He brings it, and he brings it hard. He brings it with imagination, and he brings it with guys that want to play. Like I've said many times, I quote him many, many times. He said over and over, this Broncos team is not for everybody. You want to be here, you're going to be here, but you're going to work your tail end off, because that's how I roll. Well, there you go. And Kareem Jackson said, I quoted it for you guys. I quoted what he said. He wants to be on this team. Plain and simple. I say, bring Kareem Jackson back. It's not going to hurt the Broncos salary-wise. Certainly not. And it's not going to hurt them in the game play. Absolutely not. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. We got to do, put it this way, if players want to be here, then let's bring them in. I mean, we did that when we signed Peyton Manning. Players came in left and right. Why not bring back the ones that want to be here? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. Avatar says, the farthest the Nuggets have made in the playoffs was the Western Conference Finals. Yes, that's very true. That's very, very true. I'll tell you what, man, it'd be pretty exciting. It'd be even more exciting if the Avalanche could somehow get past Seattle and make it to the Stanley Cup. Obviously, they got 3 more series, if they get past the first one. But you know what I'm saying? It'd be great if they won back-to-back championships, and then the Nuggets also won a championship. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be really, really great for Colorado sports. Okay, there is a safety that wants to be traded. There is unrest in the desert with the Arizona Cardinals. Pro Bowl safety Budda Baker has requested a trade per Ian Rappaport. Baker is 27 years old and has been a solid player with leadership and toughness. So my question is this: if he wants to be traded, he's in the NFC, right? Sean Payton was in the NFC with the Saints. Could the Broncos make a trade, or should the Broncos make a trade for Budda Baker? Why not? Why not? Again, I go back to players that want to be on the Broncos. Now, Budda Baker didn't say he wants to be on the Broncos. He didn't state what team. He just said he wants to be traded. But my thought is this: if you have a Sean Payton and the Cardinals aren't going anywhere, and you've got Russell Wilson at quarterback, and you've got a whole different dynamic that the Broncos are going to bring this year, why not trade for a Budda Baker? I don't know what the Cardinals would be asking. I have no idea. But why not at least pick up the phone and say, hey, understand Budda Baker wants a trade. How about we work something out? Hey, GM of the Arizona Cardinals, how about we work something out? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Pick up the phone, ask, see what they're offering. Why not? I would make a move for that. Absolutely make a move. You cannot have too many good people in the locker room. You have to have leadership. And it says right here that he's a solid player with leadership, what I just said, and toughness. Well, there you go. It's the things that the Broncos need, and the Broncos are going to thrive on this year. It's toughness, leadership, and player. And a solid player. You're going to have to under Sean Payton. This is no childhood Broncos team anymore. This isn't Nathaniel Hackett run pathetic team. This is a Sean Payton. This is the way we do it, in your face kind of team. And I say Budda Baker would fit in perfectly. So pick up the phone, George Paton, and talk to the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, and let's make something happen. Okay? Why not? All right. Avatar says, I have faith that the Avs will pull it out tonight. Oh, man. You know what, Avatar? I really thought the Avalanche were going to win in Colorado on Wednesday. I really did. They're at home. They have their home fans. I expected the fans to be absolutely electric and energetic, but they were like this. They were quiet. They were saying, like, don't say nothing. Don't get excited. That place pissed me off. Absolutely angered me. And you know, when they're in Seattle, and Seattle knows, those fans know that they're on the brink of history of knocking out the Stanley Cup champions in the first round as an expansion team. You don't think that place is going to be loud? Yeah. I don't think I'll need my TV volume on. I'll hear it from Seattle. Anyways, I continue. I've got Avalanche stuff at the end, but thanks for that comment. I really hope the Avalanche can pull it off. I really do. Anyways, let's go to Jalen Hurts. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to a $255 million contract extension with quarterback Jalen Hurts per Tom Pelissero. The contract is for 5 years. $110 million is fully guaranteed at signing. Holy smokes. He gets almost half of the money at signing. My gosh. Must be great to be an athlete. It really must be great to be at that level. I mean, holy smokes. Anyways, and then another $126.5 million guaranteed by March 2024. We're in April, guys. That's 11 months from now. He's going to get another $126.5 million. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. For 5 years, he's getting all his money up front, pretty much. Wow. He also has a no trade clause. So there you go. If he should, spiral down the porcelain fixture after the first or second year, they're stuck with him. Because if he waives that, I mean, if he doesn't waive that no trades clause, oh, well, they're stuck because they already gave him his $255 million or 255 or close to 255 million by March of next year. That's crazy. That's crazy. But also it is very similar to what happened with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. They gave him everything. Here, take it all, man. We'll just cross our fingers and hope nothing bad happens and this and that because we already, freaking gave you everything you wanted. Well, they're doing that to Jalen Hurts now. But you can't really fault Philadelphia for doing this because the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. And when you go to the Super Bowl and you produce like Jalen Hurts did last season, you're going to get rewarded. I continue. Like I said, he also has a no-trade clause. It's the first time in Eagles history to ever give a player a no-trade clause. By the way, Hurts is only 24 years old. 24 years old. Guys, what were you doing at 24? I dang sure know I wasn't playing in the NFL, that's for sure. And I absolutely wasn't making that kind of money. I haven't even come close to that kind of money in my whole life, period. 24 years old. That is crazy. Just mind-boggling. Now, on the heels of that, Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens have offered MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson a deal that includes $200 million guaranteed per Pat McAfee show. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not doing any update of Lamar Jackson is because that was, remember last week, guys, I had a guest in Mario Vitanzi. I want to thank Mario again, once again, for being on the show. Really, really appreciate it. But I didn't get to any of my topics. And the Lamar Jackson one, yes, he did sign with Baltimore. He is now under contract with the Baltimore Ravens, and he's staying with Baltimore. So this news was a bit old, but I wanted to bring it in because of the fact that Lamar Jackson stayed with Baltimore. They worked it out. They worked out a deal, a contract extension, and he's going to remain a Baltimore Raven for quite some time. All right. Now, let's get into the segment called Jackass of the Week. Okay. 4 players are suspended. Okay, here it is. 4 Lions players have been suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy following an investigation by the league. They are wide receiver Quintez Cephas, safety C.J. Moore, Jamison Williams, and wide receiver Stanley Berryhill. The Lions, however, said they didn't bet on NFL games. Doesn't matter. You cannot bet at all as an NFL athlete. There are certain, every organization, every team, every business that you work has rules and guidelines. And if the rules say no betting on sports as an official athlete in the NFL, you're paid by the NFL, you're hired by the NFL or signed or whatever, drafted, you have to abide by the rules. The rules do not state that you can bet on whatever you want, just not NFL. You cannot bet on anything. It's against NFL policy. And unless they change that, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up being suspended. Not you personally, but, the players that do it. They're going to be ended up suspended. And rightfully so, because you broke an NFL rule. I don't understand what is wrong with these people. Can they not read? Do they not hear what they're, I would imagine when you get drafted or you're on the team, they go through all the rules for the upcoming year because some do change, like gameplay rules and things like that. How in heaven's name do you not abide by the rules? What do you think? You think you're above the NFL law, so to speak? You don't think you're going to get caught? Just like those people that go on these police chases, they think they're going to get away? Really? Come on, man. It's common sense. Guys, you cannot outrun a helicopter. In the NFL, you cannot outrun Roger Goodell. And the NFL, big shots out there. you're not going to get away with things. You may get away with it for a while. That's very, very true. But you're not going to get away with it forever. And the longer you do these things, the harder the suspension is going to be. Now, it didn't say how long this suspension is going to be because the NFL season hasn't started. They probably haven't handed that down yet, obviously. But you would think, I mean, come on. Do these guys not see what other players have done across the board? You got to be kidding me. And people say, oh, well, it's just 4 guys. No, it hurts the entire team. It hurts the Lions. It hurts their reputation. It hurts the organization. It may hurt their families if their pay is cut, or if they're suspended, maybe they don't get paid. Hurts their families, hurts their income, hurts their livelihood, because they don't think. They just don't think. Oh, we're playing the Raiders this week, and we're in Vegas, and I gotta throw a couple dollars down, play the slots, or I gotta play not Russian roulette. What am I saying? You gotta play a roulette wheel, or you gotta play craps or whatever. You can't do that. Now it says that they didn't bet on NFL teams. Now I'm not quite 100% sure that these players can't go to Vegas and just play slots. I'm not, maybe that's the case where they can do that. But these guys apparently were betting in such a way that the NFL suspended them. So I'm assuming, I know what happens when you assume, but I'm just thinking that perhaps they were betting on baseball games or hockey games or basketball games. That you cannot do. I'm not sure that if they play the Raiders in Vegas, if they can't just, have a good night out, nice steak dinner or something and play a few slots. I'm not sure that is categorized in the same context as what the NFL is saying when they said they're gambling, because it says they've been suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy. Now, I don't know what that policy totally entitles. It may entitle you can't gamble at all. I mean, does that mean that you and your buddy can't, bet on whoever wins this game's got to wear the other team's jersey? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. But anyways, I'm just saying, you guys got to think. They don't think. And that's what I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with having, a ton of money and they just feel invincible. Maybe it's because their age, they're young and they haven't experienced life, as an older person. Nope. I'm not throwing darts at myself. I know I'm older, but anyways, I don't know. I don't know why these guys feel that they're invincible, and I've never understood that. I just absolutely don't get it. Okay, all right. Let's see. Hey, D-Rock, what's happening, man? Nice to have you in the house, buddy. Always good to see you and everybody else that jumps in. Always appreciate it. Okay, the Denver Broncos are no longer going to have a sponsor. Here it is. Per Mike Kliss, the Denver Broncos headquarters will no longer carry the sponsor name of UC Health. Whoa. Now, I don't know if that was the contract that expired and the Walton Penner Group decided not to retain them. Maybe UC Health wanted more money because they know that the pockets run real deep with the Walton Penner Group. I don't know. It didn't say. The article didn't say. It just says they're not going to have the sponsor or carry the sponsor's name of UC Health. I continue. The Broncos said, and I quote, "We want to thank UC Health for its dedicated support of the Broncos and our community as the team's healthcare partner and training facility, naming rights, and the holders since 2015, end quote. Okay, there you go. You have new ownership. You have a change of sponsorship, or in this case, removal of a sponsorship, whether it was a mutual agreement, whether it was over money, contract, I don't know. Maybe if you listen to what it says, as the team's healthcare partner and training facility, who are they going to go with now? Obviously, they need somebody to sponsor for the training because it makes things easier. You get a sponsor and they pay revenue money, to the Walton Penner Group like they need it, but they pay it. I'm wondering, obviously the Broncos are going in a different direction because of ownership and that. There's a changing of the guard, guys. There has been a changing of the guard. With the Walton Penner Group, they're doing things their own way, and they should. Pat Bowen did the same thing when he bought it from a guy. I can't remember that guy's name. He was in Canada. Anyways, when he bought it from him, and he changed things. And now the Walton Penner Group is doing the same. Do I like it? I mean, I don't really like change unless I make it, or it doesn't catch me blindsided. But I mean, this UC Health Center has been there forever. I just don't know who they're going to get now, or if they're going to get anybody to sponsor. I don't know. It doesn't say. On an article here, it doesn't say it. It says no new sponsor was named when this information was released. So there you go. I don't know if they're going to have anybody. They may not. They may just keep it as, I don't know, Broncos training facility or something. But I'm gonna throw a plug out there. It'd be really kind of cool. I mean, maybe it's too big of an endeavor or whatnot, but I think it'd be kind of cool if you had the Vitanzi, his what he calls himself, the Jedi, of the body healing. It'd be kind of cool if he somehow, and his business was somehow affiliated with the Denver Broncos directly. I think that would be great. I mean, if he's already working on Bronco players, I mean, hello, he could do it right there in the facility. I think that would be pretty cool. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. Don't quote me on any of that, because I'm just speculating, saying that for me, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to get in. This is a feel-good story, and I don't have I don't have the intro for the feel-good segment, but this is a feel-good story, and it goes back to it goes. Let me just throw it out there. Okay, who is Nicole Lyon? I don't know. I didn't know who Nicole Lyon was either. I have no clue. But she is an Oklahoma alum and is now the president of football operations at Clutch Sports Group, with huge NFL names a part of her past and present client roster. That's cool. That's totally cool. By the way, Lyons is the first ever female to secure a huge contract deal with, you guessed it, Jalen Hurts. Wow. First female agent to, what's it say here? It says she is the first ever female to secure a huge contract deal with Jalen Hurts, or anybody. But she secured the deal with Jalen Hurts. Now you go back to what the article of Jalen Hurts was. Like I mentioned, he gets $110 million when he signed the contract. He gets another $126.5 million March 24th. This was Nicole Lyon who secured that deal. Holy smokes. Congratulations to her, man. I mean, that is awesome. I continue. Lyon studied law at Oklahoma while interning with the NFL Players Association. She is also the first Black woman to represent a player at a Super Bowl in 2023. Now, if you recall, the Philadelphia Eagles, like I mentioned earlier, went to the Super Bowl in 2023 it was February this year. She was the first ever Black woman to represent an NFL player at a Super Bowl. How cool and awesome is that? That to me is absolutely amazing. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And, people say, well, this is a man's world, and NFL is a male dominant. Of course it is. But we have female sideline reporters. We have female announcers. We also have female referees. What is wrong with having a female as an agent for a prominent NFL player in Jalen Hurts in a Super Bowl in February of 2023? I say it's great. I am not against anybody having a position at any position if they are qualified. If they're not qualified, I don't care. I mean, if you're not qualified, you shouldn't have the job. She's very much qualified, and she represented Jalen Hurts by getting that contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations to Nicole Lynn. Absolutely, congratulations. you worked hard. You studied law at, and she said she studied law at Oklahoma State. Great. Awesome. She obviously knows what she's doing. Or the Philadelphia Eagles most likely would not have done that deal. But somehow, some way, she knows what she's doing, and she got her client, Jalen Hurts, contract money. Obviously, contract money. 5 years, 90% or 95% of it's guaranteed. Well, come March 2024, 2024, March. Why not? Why not give her props? And that's why I say it's a feel-good story, because you don't hear a lot of this a lot of times. And to me, this is what, this stuff like this needs to be brought out because of people like this that are doing things for the first time, that are breaking inroads, that are moving mountains, so to speak. Congratulations to Nicole Lynn. That is awesome. All right. Now I have this off the top of my head. I didn't jot it down as a note, but I want to throw this out there, guys. Here in this past week, right before the draft, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers agreed to trade, or I should say, Green Bay Packers agreed to trade Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. And without getting into compensation, all that, that's not where I'm going with this. And the offensive coordinator is Nathaniel Hackett. So here's my question to you guys. Why the New York Jets and Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator, but not the Denver Broncos last year with Nathaniel Hackett as head coach? Now, I'm not saying that I wanted Aaron Rodgers, because that's not what I wanted. I did not want Aaron Rodgers and his attitude and his just arrogant, personality. I didn't want Aaron Rodgers. I still don't. But my point is this. What was it that turned the tables for him to want to say, I want to go to the Jets with Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator, but he doesn't want to go, or didn't want to go to Denver with Hackett as a head coach? Was it the fact that George Paton did not want to make the trade and give up all that collateral, whatever, to Green Bay? Because remember, George Paton used to be the GM or assistant GM, I think it was the GM for the Minnesota Vikings. And the Vikings and Packers don't like each other. So maybe George Paton still had a little bit of animosity about the Packers when he was with the Vikings. I don't know. I'm speculating. But my thing is, it's just kind of uncanny to think that he would go to the Jets with Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator, but he wouldn't go to the Broncos with Hackett would have been was a head coach. Seems kind of strange. So I think there's something else underlying in that situation. Don't know. I don't care. But the thing I do care is this. The Broncos will host the New York Jets this coming season in Denver. Nathaniel Hackett's coming home, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be on that team. I mean, how ironic is that? Last year, we got Russell Wilson, and the first thing out of the gate is we played the Seattle Seahawks. Is the first game out of the gate for the Broncos at home going to be against the Jets? And, Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers? Very well could be. Absolutely very well could be. And it could be prime time. Why not? You would have Russell Wilson going against Aaron Rodgers. They went against each other multiple times in the NFC. Not every year, because they were in different divisions, but they played each other. So wouldn't that be ironic if back-to-back years the Broncos open up on prime time? Well, I'm not saying the first game of the season, but I'm talking about, a prime time, Wilson goes back to Seattle and that was first game. Or would this year be the Jets at Denver for the first game? Rodgers and Wilson. Hackett comes back to Denver. Hope he gets his freaking butt booed. But anyways, it's my personal opinion. But, it could happen. It could happen. I just think it's kind of strange that Rodgers would go to the Jets with Hackett as offensive coordinator, but wouldn't go to Denver when Hackett was the head coach. Thank goodness he didn't go to Denver, because I don't have any respect for Aaron Rodgers. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his I'm mightier than anybody else. No, you're not. No, you're not. And the Packers finally did the right thing by kicking you to the Jets, saying, get out of here. We're sick and tired of your attitude and the person you are. Okay. I'm going to give, and I don't have this one either. Hang on. D-Rock, before I get into that, D-Rock has a question. Says, hey, Bill, side question. You think we're picking at 67 and 68 or trading down? I say we're still picking at 67. I'm not sure we're going to pick at 68. It all depends on who's on the board. If the Broncos are sitting at 67 and 68 and saying, hey, you know what? We want to get this guy, and we never thought this guy would be here. So they could take both. Absolutely. And they need an edge rusher. So there's talk out there that they're going after an edge rusher. So that could be very well either the 67th pick or 68. I'm not sure if the 68 is going to be one they're going to use. They could trade down to get more draft picks. That's very, very true. But I say you got to pick at 67, and here's the reason why. They didn't get to pick in the first and second round. So why trade out of both of those picks? I mean, why would you do that? I mean, maybe trade your 67th if the guys are on the board and not the ones that you think the other team's going to take, and then stockpile some drafts, in maybe later third round or fourth round. I don't know. But I doubt seriously that they drop back from both of those picks. They have to use at least one of those picks because they didn't have a pick in the first and second round. That's just my opinion. You cannot throw picks away. I know, even though you're going to get picks down the road, but you can't throw away picks in at least the first three rounds. You can't. You have to have at least one in the third round. That's just my opinion. All right. Let's see. D-Rock all says that's a good theory on giving Green Bay picks and players because of Vikings Alliance. That was one of my things. It just popped in my head, and I thought, he's very much aligned with the Vikings. He still has friends over there. He's cherry picked some people from there and whatnot. So I think that he's not going to give Green Bay anything good, even if it was for Rodgers. So like I said, I'm so glad that we don't have an Aaron Rodgers on our team because I truthfully do not like his attitude and I don't like his demeanor. I really don't. I just think he thinks that he's bigger than the game, and he's not. All right. I get into Avalanche, well, kind of Avalanche update, not really, but Val Nichushkin update. This doesn't make sense, and I would like to get any of your guys' opinion on this. I'm just going to scan through this. It's on my phone. I'm just going to scan through this, but here it is. A police report from the Seattle Police Department provides details into the April 22nd, 2023 incident involving Colorado Avalanche player Valerie Nichushkin. According to the report, police responded to the Four Seasons Hotel located at 99 Union Street for a report of a heavily intoxicated woman, not Val Nichushkin, heavily intoxicated woman in the lobby. What's this got to do with Valerie Nichushkin? He was barely even mentioned, and I continue. Police located the woman in the back of the building, and medics were called and blah, 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 so I'll skip through all that. Officers met with Avalanche physician who stated the woman was located by team employees when they were checking on Nichushkin. Checking on him where? In the lobby of a hotel? What's he doing in the lobby of a hotel? Doesn't say. Doesn't say anything basically about Nichushkin. So why is he even involved in this? Why is he suspended? Well, not suspended. Why is he not on the team? What are they not saying? I continue. The team doctor said he found the woman and she was heavily intoxicated. Okay, we know that. Okay. An off-duty police officer traveling with the team told a Seattle officer there were no reports of any criminal interactions. And those are in quotes. I'm going to say that again. An off-duty Denver police officer traveling with the team told a Seattle officer there were, and I quote, no reports of any criminal interactions, end quote, beyond the woman being heavily intoxicated. What in heaven's name does this have to do with Valerie Nichushkin? And why is he not on the team? I'm not understanding this. This whole police report is very, very misleading, very vague. And I know that the NHL and the Avalanche team owners and whatnot, they have to do their due diligence to see who's telling the truth, who's not, what's going on, where was Val, what's the incident, There's no criminal, what does it say? There was no criminal interactions. So what's the issue? What is the problem? Hang on. In the ambulance, the report says the woman told another officer she was from Russia and that, and I quote, some guy took her passport and that he was a bad person, end quote. Val Nichushkin's name is not mentioned there. She's highly intoxicated. She has probably no idea what in heaven's name she's saying or making up or trying to imply something that Valerie didn't do. Trying to extort money, maybe? Trying to accuse Valerie Nichushkin of doing something he didn't do? Was Valerie Nichushkin at the wrong place at the wrong time in the lobby? The female having to be intoxicated? Valerie Nichushkin's in there? Cameras show things, guys. Every hotel has cameras. Why haven't those been revealed? Why haven't those been shown to the public? Why? Why have they not? I continue. The woman was detained for being a danger to others. Well, there you go. Of course she's a danger to others. And now she's implying or implicating Valerie Nichushkin when his name's not even mentioned in this report. All she said was a guy took her passport and he was a bad person. What could be anybody? Why is it Valerie Nichushkin? Why is he involved in this? What is not being said in this article or in this police report? What is not being said? That's the issue I have. I don't have an issue with her being intoxicated. Well, I do, health-wise or whatever. I don't have an issue with what is going on with her because I could care less. That's her thing. She doesn't even name Valerie Nichushkin. She didn't say, if she pointed him out, where is the video of it? Where are the pictures of this? Why wasn't that in the report? Where's Valerie Nichushkin now? Don't know. This is a crazy, crazy ongoing mystery report by the police of Seattle that are not really saying anything. They're just beyond vague. It's ridiculous. I continue. The woman was transported by ambulance to a local hospital and because she was unable to care for herself in public due to the intoxication. No kidding. So if she can't even function, basically, how in heaven's name does she even think or feel or know that, quote, a bad person took her passport and Val Nichushkin is somehow, in some way, shape, or form involved? I go back here to the top. I forgot to mention this. Where is it? If I can't find it, I'll just because I know what it says. Not verbatim, but I kind of paraphrase. There is no known connection between Valerie Nichushkin and this woman. They don't know each other. There's no known connection. So if that's the case, was Valerie Nichushkin at the wrong place at the wrong time and is implicated by this female as being a bad person? I don't know. This whole report is so vague that, I don't get it. I don't get why he is not on the team. Why can't he not? Why can't he be on? If there's no criminal interaction, why is he not on the team? I don't get it. Apparently somebody's hiding something. Absolutely somebody's hiding something. And leading into this most important game of the Avalanche season tonight with no Val Nichushkin, thank goodness we got Cale Makar back, but that was a stupid suspension too. But anyways, no Val Nichushkin. My thought is when I watched the game on Wednesday, that fan base in Colorado is usually electric. They were quiet, and that bothers me because the team itself doesn't seem to be focused because of all the distractions, the injuries, the whole Val Nichushkin thing now, the just on and on and on. And it's showing on the players. They don't have the energy and the drive and the passion to get beyond Seattle in the first round. Nathan McKinnon can't do it all by himself, guys. He absolutely cannot do it all by himself. And we need to have other guys step up and be a support, but it's not there. And now when you got this black eye of nobody knowing what in heaven's name is going on with Valerie Nichushkin, these guys have to be demoralized. They absolutely have to be just beat down. Absolutely beat down by everything that's happened this year. Absolutely everything. There's going to be more to come with this Val Nichushkin situation. I certainly hope he is not involved in any way, shape, and form for something that could be detrimental to his health, detrimental to his career, detrimental to the Avalanche organization. I certainly hope not. But there will be more. But that article, that police report was so weird and so strange that now Val Nichushkin's name was not even mentioned except for the first paragraph. Wow. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Clayton Huron says, evening, Bill. Nice to have you, Clayton. Thanks so much for showing up. If you missed any of the show, please go back once the show's over, and you can go on the MHRT network on YouTube, and you can rewatch the show from the beginning. But thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Clayton, always appreciate you telling everybody to smash the like button and share the show, share the network, share all the shows with your family, friends, and anybody else. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. D-Rock says edge players are going left and right. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That means the Broncos may not get their edge rusher. They may have to take somebody, a walk-on after the draft. I don't know. But, wow, that's not what I wanted to hear. Not at all, because we definitely need an edge rusher. Because we don't know what we're going to get with Gregory. What's his name? Gregory, his first name. Something Gregory. God, I can't remember. I'm in hockey mode. But, yeah, we don't know if Gregory's going to come back 100%. We have no idea. But we definitely need a very strong edge rusher. And then Clayton also says, shoot, and shoot until we can't. Absolutely. Avalanche got to quit trying to make the perfect freaking pass across the ice when you got four guys right in the middle that can deflect it or whatever. You got to shoot the puck. You can't score if you don't shoot. Plain and simple. I mean, Seattle proved that last Wednesday. They shot from the perimeter and it went in. You got to take your chances. You can't make no team that I've ever watched regularly, especially the Avalanche, but other teams, your chances of making a perfect pass are very, very minimal. You have to have so many things working, and it doesn't go that way. And if the other team knows that all you're going to do is try and make that pretty perfect pass, they're just going to clog up the middle. And that's exactly what Seattle has been doing. The Avalanche need to change their game plan, and it starts with Jared Bednar, but it also has to be executed by the players. I just don't see these players right now at this point in time of the season that driven to repeat as Stanley Cup champions. Nowhere near the energy and the passion and the drive they had last year. I know players are gone. I know players are injured, and I know there's a big distraction with this whole Val Nichushkin thing. I get it. But somehow, some way, guys, you've got to dig down deep. You've got to want it more than Seattle does. And right now, I'm not seeing that. Not whatsoever. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Clayton has been telling everybody to hit the like button and tell your friends. I say subscribe as well. I really appreciate the support that all you guys have given. It means so much to myself, to MHRT Network, and I've said it many, many times. I'll keep saying it. If it wasn't for you guys in the chat, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun to do this show. I appreciate every single one of you. Before I get out of here, I do want to say thanks to Avatar, to Save Lokes, Hood Tales, Badungus Creevy, D-Rock, and Clayton Huron. Appreciate it so much, guys. So much for being in the chat and for your comments and for your questions and interaction. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, coming up tonight, here in about an hour and 10 minutes, I'm going to be on with Madungus Creevy. We're going to be doing the Avalanche neighborhood. So it's a must-game win, guys. We have to get this game won tonight or our season is done. That goes live at 7 o'clock my time, Pacific time. And then on Monday, we have the Cluster Puck podcast. Tuesday, we have the 5280, followed by the Whiskey, No Nonsense of Whiskey. Wednesday's the Wild Wild West. And then Friday, it's this show once again, Broncos Breakdown with me, your host, Bronco Bill. Until then, until an hour and 10 minutes from now, guys, until then, have a great weekend coming up. And let's go Avalanche. Let's get this game won. Talk to you then, guys. Bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making